Standing at the edge of a trail just before sunrise, the fog covered everything beyond the first few steps. The path ahead appeared alien, yet strangely familiar. I had never walked this trail before. Then again, I don't think any of us truly have. I stood there longer than I needed to, not because I doubted the trail, but because I could not see where it would ask me to go. A road can feel perfectly safe until we stop seeing where it leads. The trees hadn't changed. The earth beneath my feet was as solid as it has always been. Even the trail itself appeared unchanging. My perspective was the only thing that had changed. For a while, I simply listened. The wind moved through the trees. Birdsong echoed somewhere beyond the fog. The world continued as though nothing at all had changed. It struck me then. Perhaps uncertainty has never been as loud as our imagination. Maybe that's why it feels so convincing. When we cannot see what lies ahead, the mind has a strange way of filling the distance on its own. Sometimes with questions, sometimes with possibilities, far more often with fears. After a while, I took the first step, then another. The fog hadn't lifted. I simply knew a bit more of the trail than I had a moment before. Then another step, and another. Each one revealed only enough to take the next, never the whole journey. Solely the part that existed right in front of me. I smiled to myself. I had spent so much time wishing I could see the end of the trail. I had almost forgotten that trails were never meant to be walked that way. Every road I've ever trusted has asked the same thing of me. Not to see the destination, only to keep walking. It wasn't long before the fog behind me looked much the same as the fog ahead. The path I had already walked had quietly disappeared from view. It struck me then. The unknown isn't only waiting in front of us, it's slowly gathering behind us as well. Today those moments no longer feel like the unknown. They're simply a part of the road behind me. It happens quietly. One day, uncertainty becomes memory. What once felt impossible to imagine becomes difficult to imagine any other way. I don't think the unknown has changed. Only the place from which I'm looking at it has. If you've lived long enough, you've stood at the edge of that same trail. Maybe it looked different. A judgment you knew you had to make. A decision that refused to become any easier with time. The first morning in a place that did not yet feel quite like home. The moment you realized that life was about to change, whether you felt ready or not. Whatever it was, I imagine it carried the same feeling. The quiet realization that there is no way of knowing exactly what waited beyond the next few steps. And yet, you took them anyway. You probably didn't feel ready. Very few of us do. Readiness has a curious way of appearing after we've already begun, not before. It's strange, isn't it? The unknown has introduced every chapter of your life, every friendship, every place you've ever called home, every person who changed you, every skill you've ever learned, every memory you still return to. There was a time when each of them belonged to a future you couldn't see. And yet, when another unknown appears, we often greet it as though it has only ever come to take something from us. The unknown has certainly brought heartache into every life. I don't think any honest person could say otherwise. But it has also brought every beautiful thing we never could have planned. Somehow, we remember one and forget the other. The question was never whether the road ahead was certain. It rarely is. The better question has always been this: will the fear of what cannot be seen keep us from discovering what never could have been imagined? There is a silent temptation to believe that courage begins with certainty, that one day the fear will disappear, that confidence will finally find us. Then, and only then, will we be ready to move. Life stands in defiant opposition to this. There is no way to truly know what awaits us around the next bend or atop the next hill that we climb. But we push onward, even while uncertainty walks beside us. Not out of some misguided sense of fearlessness, but through the revelation that standing still is a decision too. The road has never asked us to know how the journey ends, only whether we're willing to discover what waits beyond the new horizon. The strange thing about the unknown is that it never asks to be conquered, only entered. The fog doesn't disappear before the journey begins. It parts because the journey has, one quiet step at a time. The future has never unfolded all at once. It has always revealed itself piece by piece to those willing to keep walking. When I ponder it, I don't remember the mornings when I could see the entire road. I remember the ones where I couldn't, not because they were easy, but because they reminded me that life has never demanded certainty, only movement. When the time comes to face another unknown, I hope you will remember the trail, not because the fog was overcome, but because with every step forward, your own boots are what split the morning mist.